Wanting more can get you in places you'd never imagined. He actually went from drumming buckets in the subways of New York City to his critically acclaimed breakout role in the award-winning hit show P-Valley. J. Alphonse Nicholson is here! His star-turning role as Lil Murder, an up-and-coming rapper struggling with his sexuality, is a groundbreaking character. And he's doing even more, taking off-Broadway by storm, even getting praise from the New York Times. Critics call him a heavyweight, a true pro at his craft. And 2024 is sure to be his year of more. Tam fam, please welcome J. Alphonse Nicholson! Come on out! I'm so happy for you. Happy New Year!
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Oh my God! Look at you! Oh my God! Every time I see the video of that kid drumming in the subway, and I think about, we saw each other the last time, our season premiere of season 4, the entire cast, P-Valley in the house, and you were emotional. Actually, our interview went viral.
It did. Multiple times.
Multiple times because you,
Thank you.
You were brought to tears talking about the recognition that you were receiving for your role, and you started crying, and everybody felt it.
Yeah.
And the train has just kept going and kept going. We said this is 2024, 2020 more. What do you want more of?
Well, I just want more, to give more flowers to people like yourself.
Oh, God.
You know, just thank you for bringing me back here to the show. Thank you for inviting my wife, my pretty baby who couldn't be here. So I want more for her. I want more for my children. I want my stepdaughter to do well going into her first year in college.
Oh, my God.
You know, and so just more family, more love, more experiences, but of course, more storytelling, more exciting storytelling, yes.
And you've been doing this. I mean, it's remarkable when you think about how you have faced many adversities, and you've been very honest about it, including the idea of anxiety and trying to get past some of the personal, emotional feelings that we all face. You said in a number of interviews that when you were drumming on the subway, that was true love. You know, and nobody thinks of the subways being glamorous. People are rushing and hustling, but there you are with crowds of strangers surrounding you, and you said that was love.
It was. Street drumming was something that I did to make a living, but drumming was something that I loved to do. And so I knew if it was doing something I loved to do, it wouldn't seem as hard. It was also a world that I created for myself where there was no anxiety. There was no kind of like, who's staring at me, what's happening, because it was my sanctuary, you know, and I knew I was making a living for myself, but also just doing something for about 3 or 4 hours that I just loved to do.
So you were down there for 3 or 4 hours, and this is what's so remarkable about your life. In a place that people say, you take the subway, you were down there, and it was a sanctuary. And that's the irony of life. You know, they say somebody's trash is someone's treasure. Someone's place of avoidance is where you found sanctuary. And you talk about the extreme anxiety that you had to overcome and still deal with. And you said, you have a saying, breathing and believing.
Breathing and believing means everything for me. I say it to myself right now as I'm sitting here with you. Fill your stomach up, fill your back up, fill your lungs up. And as artists, what happens is that allows your voice to go up and over the audience, right? And so your storytelling goes a lot further when you breathe and believe.
This is why I want to do this show. This is exactly why. Because you always come to tell your story. You always come to connect with the audience. You always come to be yourself. And let me tell you, yourself is winning, because 2024 is your year. We're going to talk about his off-Broadway shows that even the New York Times has taken notice of. More in 2024 with J. Alphonse. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Talented. I see you working. I'm like, idea. He's acting. He is working. I said, he is not that character. He's completely different. He's pulling on his talent as an artist to bring this to life. Every time I watch you, I'm like, that's an actor right there. You are so good.
That was the great Cheryl Lee Ralph gilding J. Alphonse Nicholson, his flowers. We are still in conversation. I mean, when you get praise from someone as iconic as Cheryl Lee Ralph, and effusive praise. She didn't want you to leave. She wanted you to know. Yeah. She said, that's an actor. And then when I'm looking at you now on Off-Broadway, and it's incredible to read the reviews of Freight, the 5 incarnations of Abel Green. You play 5 different characters. Yeah. A minstrel in the early 1900s, a faith healer, an FBI informant infiltrating the Black Panthers, an actor in the 1980s, and a can-collecting homeless man, 2010. You play all of these characters in that show, and people's eyes could not stop watching. Yeah. And then you have coming up Sunset Baby.
Yes, January through March. Yeah. I can't wait to get back here in New York on Signature Stage. And so, first time back in New York since 2020, since the pandemic. Right. So I'm excited about it.
I'm always then again struck by the surreal nature of your life. Mm-hmm. You're playing drums in the subway underneath these great theaters, $100 a day. Now you're on the marquee of these theaters.
Yeah. And she's trying to make me cry again.
No, I mean, but
no, it's surreal. And it's one of those things that I always saw. I was sitting there street drumming.
You always saw it?
I always saw it. I saw it sitting there street drumming right here on 42nd Street. There's a picture of me looking up, kind of playing, and whoever captured it, I can tell I was just envisioning everything.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
It's real, you know? It's real. And I encourage everybody here today that see me, just understand that this wasn't like this 5 years ago.
Just 5 years ago?
5 years ago,
I
I'll sit right there. That's the picture I'm talking about. I'm sitting there, and you can kind of see, like, okay, this brother's a little hungry, he really wants something, but that guy has a special place in my heart, and I will never forget those days. And so anytime I come here, I leave it all on the stage for people who just know that your dreams are valid. Your dreams are very obtainable.
Yes.
Very obtainable, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at every element of this photo, the $2 bills there. There you have your name on the bucket where people can follow you. Yeah. To your point, your little water on the side, but your big dreams in that body language. Yeah. That's a striver. Oh, and I love that you and your wife, you root for each other. Because she's known you since you were on the streets drumming. This is not a new love. This is a real love, as they call it.
Yeah, Nafisha would be down there with me. We met in 2016. I was doing a show out in Oakland, California, and then I was afraid to kind of tell her what I did for a living at the time. I was just doing regional theater, but I said I street drum every day, too. And so she's like, oh, that's great. I love that. I would want to see it. So when she came to visit me in New York, I wouldn't let her come to my house because my house was horrible. It was really bad. It was out in Flatbush. It was bad. And so I had her come see me street drum, and she stood down there for like an hour. And so here I am, dusty, all dirty. I get up, I go over there and give her a kiss. I'll never forget people. Who's he? Why is he over kissing this woman? And it was just, you know, people couldn't believe, like, oh, he got a girlfriend. Okay, he down street drumming every day, got a girlfriend. That's my baby.
I mean, I'm thinking about it because you've been married for 3 years now.
Yes.
Your wedding, that story of her seeing you in the subway to this. But it made it extra special knowing where y'all started together.
Obviously, I had a life prior to Nafisha. I had a son. I had my son when I was 20 years old. So a lot of struggles up until I met her, but she met me in the heat of it, right? Yeah. And so she believed in me just like I believed in myself. And I told her, I think probably like the 3rd time we went out, I said, you're gonna be my wife. Oh. So you're gonna be my wife. And you know, all the great things that I wanted to have happen to be a provider for her and my children started to happen. Yeah. And so, of course, she told me, and I'll never forget it, she said, I'll be with you if you street drum every day. It doesn't matter, you know, what happens. But,
okay, the two of you.
Oh,
this is like
baby.
a Lifetime movie, right? Can't you just see the kid in it? And meanwhile, all of this, her career's flourishing, your career, P-Valley, thank goodness, will be back. Season 3.
Yes.
I'm worried about Lil Murder. I'm worried. I never thought a sentence out of my mouth would be, I'm worried about Lil Murder.
Right.
but I'm worried about my guy. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
He's complicated. Lil Murda is such a complicated character. Katori Hall is such an amazing writer, Pulitzer Prize winning writer.
Brilliant.
I think we have a lot of things that we have to unfold in this new season coming up. And Katori's
Have you seen the scripts?
No.
Because she holds them like lock and key.
Lock and key. She doesn't share them only with the people she has to share them with, and that's not the cast, right? Only till it's time. And so we don't quite know when we're going back, but we're just glad that the strike is over.
Yes, thank goodness.
And that
it worked out.
you know, Katori Hall and the team can get back to prepping for the season.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come do Sunset Baby, and hopefully shortly after that I go right back into
I'm
Peak
still
Hour.
amazed at what you do and what you pull off. And I'm still so shocked that the very first talk show you ever did, Tamron Hall show, and the second talk show you've ever done, Tamron Hall show. He's
back to
only
back.
done 2 talk shows. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, we love you. We love the entire cast. It is so good to see someone like you getting more of what you deserve, which is amazing.
Thank you.
J. Alphonse, be sure to check out J. Alphonse in Signature Theater's Sunset Baby.